Hello internets, this is BoneCarlos coming to you live from Shakura's Plateau to bring you another StarCraft 2 commentary shoutcast kind of thing. The players today are going to be Mugen, spawning as the red Protoss. His opponent is going to be none other than esnov, spawning as the blue Terran. Like I said, the map is going to be Shakura's Plateau. They are spawning close positions by air, so hopefully we see some cheeky shenanigans since it's going to be very easy to drop, or maybe some cloaked banshees by esnov, maybe some DT harassment by Mugen. But the map is Shakura's Plateau, easy to secure natural expansion, bit of a wide ramp there leading up to it, and already we see Mugen putting down his pylon at the top of his ramp, so very interesting placement. Usually put that down for Zerg a la seasons 1 through 3 or 4. And to complete that wall off, it's not so common to do that up against a Terran opponent, since if you do place your building here, your cybernetics core here, and then complete that wall off with that zealot, you just park a marine here and just pummel the buildings from a distance. And already we see Mugen's going to go ahead and put down his gateway, so it looks like he is just going to go ahead and start his wall off. So alongside with esnov, he's already putting down his supply depot and the barracks. If you guys aren't familiar with my SC2 cast, esnov does love to do a particular build against Protoss players. It's dubbed the Hammer, and basically uses Thors along with cloaked banshees to just obliterate the Protoss army. Now Mugen's already putting down his assimilator, and his gateway is about 75% done. If he puts down a cybernetics core here to complete that wall off, I would say he's trying to deny scouting by his opponent. He's already chrono boosting out his probes, so not sure exactly what he's trying to do. Generally, you see double assimilator going down if he wants to do that sort of thing. Already a pylon going down at the right next to that gateway. So what I was saying is you want to deny scouting by your opponent by putting down a cybernetics core there, but that generally comes down to when you want to do something sneaky, something tricky, a la a DT rush. But the SCV is already there for esnov, so sneaky shenanigans are going to be thrown out the window, since that SCV is going to scout pretty much everything. Already one SCV down in that refinery, no double yet, no triple yet, so really ineffective by esnov at the moment, but maybe that's just part of his play. Already a single marine going to be put out. Going to go ahead and team up with his buddy with those two supply depots at the front. And look at that, gateway is already being put down alongside with that cybernetics core. Is already actually 80% done. So Mugen decided to skip that first zealot. Going to go ahead and start churning out that second gateway, and already the warp gate research tech is being researched by him. No chrono boost being used just yet, and he actually has quite low on chrono boost, so if he is deciding to go for some sort of 4-gate cheeky shenanigans, it's going to be about 30 to 45 seconds late. So instead of hitting at the 5-minute 30-second mark, it's probably going to hit around the 6-minute 6:15 mark. And with this probe just hiding out, he has already scattered off to 2 other possible locations, so he does know where esnov spawns. So he's hiding this probe, not decided to poke forward to see exactly what esnov is doing. Esnov is actually finishing off that wall off with a bunker. So this more than likely tells me that he is going to go ahead and go with a 4-gate chrono boosting out that warp gate tech, and this stalker is going to go ahead and chase away this SCV. He's going to go ahead and get himself a free kill. So first blood is definitely in the favor of Mugen, and he's putting down a couple of stalkers. So 2 stalkers are already being put down. This gateway is going to be a little bit late, so yep, there goes that 4-gate, but it's going to be extremely late. If Mugen would have done this correctly, warp gate would be just finishing up. These 2 gateways would be completing in about 10 seconds. So he is very, very late. He's putting down an assimilator, so it's definitely not going to be a complete all-in 4-gate type of thing. But esnov is sitting pretty. He has his command center. He's morphing it into an orbital command. He has a single bunker there for defense. So as long as he reacts quickly and in time and starts repairing that immediately, he will be able to hold his buildings, or his builder will be delayed quite a bit if he is going for the hammer, and does look like he is, especially with that tech lab on that factory. Army already on the way. and it looks like this SCV is going to go ahead and scatter around, spot 2 stalkers already on the map, on the field of play. Maybe he spotted that third or not, who knows, but that pylon is there in front of that shrubbery, so not even deciding to be any sort of trickeration by Mugen. And esnov feels like I think he feels that something is coming up. He's not lifting up that orbital command, not putting down at the bottom at the natural expansion, but here come those stalkers already. The SCVs have not been put down for repair, and looks like the repair is going to be a little bit too late since that force field was perfectly placed. No repair on that bunker. Plenty of stalkers did go down, but now what is left for esnov? Pretty much absolutely nothing, and Mugen decides to GG, but Thor is on the way. Premature definitely by Mugen. He did kill off a couple of those supply depots. That tech lab is going to go down, but the Thor is there. It looks like esnov is going to go ahead and pull off his SCVs, more than likely going to keep this alive. This Thor is going to obliterate all of these stalkers once it gets in the mix, and with that repair by those SCVs, this Thor is going to make a field day out of these stalkers. Here it comes. esnov's going to push forward, trying to bait these stalkers into attacking, but not yet. The SCVs actually go back to try to mine, but too little too late. You're going to be forced to pull back immediately to try to repair this Thor. 2 stalkers already go down. The repair is underway, volley after volley. Finally, the repair is too much for those stalkers to handle, and they are forced to retreat. This single Thor already has 5 kills to its name. A second one is actually, the tech lab is being rebuilt, so no second Thor just yet. Premature GG by Mugen. Going to go ahead and put down another gateway for production, but already that's already 2 gateways too many. If you 4-gate, you don't have enough income to be able to support those 4 gates, even at the very brink of maxed out mining. This second simulator might help with that 4 gates, but tacking on a 5th without this natural expansion, without a second expansion, it's really pushing it. So basically 1 warp gate is going to be pretty much doing nothing for the moment. A scan does reveal that Mugen is going to go ahead and push yet again. Those force fields are wasted since Thors break them very, very quickly. Those zealots are going to go ahead and go down to this marine fire. And again, Mugen is forced to retreat. That Thor gets 3 more kills, and it looks like the power of those OP mules are keeping esnov in line. I mean, the harvester count does definitely favor Mugen at the moment. It finally does even up yet again, but a lot of these are just kept out front for the repair purposes. And as you can see, that OP mules do keep esnov in check and in line with his opponent, even though pretty much all of these probes are for production. Finally, Mugen decides to take his natural expansion, and he is building some Twilight Council alongside with it. So and a robotics facility. So this Twilight Council is very interesting. I doubt it's there for repair for those upgrades. And again, Mugen decides to push forward, but seeing that bunker along with that Thor, decides to pull on back. Yet again, he looks like esnov is going to scan just to make sure to see where the state of Mugen's economy is. He knows that there isn't an expansion up and running just yet. 50% done. It looks like Mugen is maxed out, or actually supply block for the moment has plenty of probes there mining. Very many probes, so you're going to go ahead and transfer them as soon as possible. Robotics facility about to be finished. Blink play is underway right now. I think Mugen is just overextending himself. He did have himself a little bit of contain, but he was just pushing forward when he shouldn't have. 2 Thors are there, plenty of SCV backups there for repairs. Looks like Mugen's going to go ahead and push forward. He's going to try to get himself a couple of kills, but it's going to go ahead and pull on back almost immediately. Looking at, let me see how many workers have been killed. 6 workers have been killed. Very, very low considering how much Mugen has sacrificed. I mean, 12 units lost by Mugen, but 1,800 resources, double that of esnov. And it looks like esnov is just going to go ahead and gear up and go into what he wanted to do about 10 minutes ago. That starport is finally down. It's going to go ahead and go into mass starport production, mass banshee play, generally what he wants to do at around, I would say 2 minutes ago. But the early aggression by Mugen pretty much negated that early banshee cloaked attack that he's able to do. Twilight Council is churning away at that blink play, about 80% done. It looks like Mugen is fully almost saturated at his natural expansion. And like I was saying earlier, I think Mugen just overextended himself. He's doing a lot of things on not that many bases. He's supply blocking himself quite a bit. The supply is generally about even 65 supply to 78. And right now, he had himself like a nice contain earlier, but upon seeing that Thor, he should have just pulled back, get himself a nice little bit of a contain, and just expanded willingly. Like, get that second natural expansion up very quickly. He'd even get that third up. Get a little bit greedy. But now that the blink play isn't the way the observer is there, it looks like Mugen's going to go ahead and push forward. Esnov sees this, immediately pulled off those SCVs, and he's going to go ahead and focus fire down this orbital command. It will go down, lifts off, but it does manage to get taken out in the skies, and now Mugen is just dancing around. Get out of there. Finally decides to get out of there. Suffers a couple of needlessly lost stalkers by debating on where to go. And now Esnov is definitely in a world of hurt. He's going to go ahead and try to retake his main base by pulling down a command center at that main base. But now Mugen is again in, I would say, in a pretty good position. He's going to go ahead and blink forward and going to try to take out this the natural expansion of Esnov. Quick, he will be able to do so. He's going to go ahead and immediately focus fire down already at around 75%. Esnov lifts it off, tries to get home. The SCVs are there for defense. Now they are there for repair. Thors are there. They're going to go ahead and repel all of these stalkers, and the mining time is going to be significantly lost for Esnov. And Mugen still no third expansion just yet. He's doing plenty of damage to Esnov's main base, main natural expansion. He's doing plenty of damage here and there, cutting down mining time by just the boatload. But still, I would like for him to take his third expansion of his own and just be that more ahead. Just a safe, very easy to follow rule of thumb: when you are ahead, get more ahead. He took out that main base of Esnov. Why not take a third? He's gonna go ahead and push forward, do some cheeky shenanigans here at that natural expansion, get a couple of SCV kills, and then pull right on back. Instead, he's just overcommitting. He's gonna go ahead and Dark Shrine up now. A single robotics facility is being put down alongside with that original one there, and Mugen is doing just a great job of putting down stalkers just in case Esnov decides to do some sort of drop. But really, not really on the tables just yet, but never a bad thing to do up against a Terran opponent. Double Forge, it looks like, for Mugen, but really he's going to go ahead and finally take down his third. This base should have already been up and running. A fourth should be building about this time, but to each player their own. The main base is almost mined out for Mugen. Esnov, his economy is pretty much in shambles. His natural expansion is fully saturated. Esnov is spreading out his stores, making sure that there isn't any more blink play going up and running. This little SCV, this rally point for this orbital command hasn't been rallied just yet. I'm pretty sure Esnov will notice in a second. But now, what Esnov really needs to do, the supply lead is definitely in the favor of Mugen, 123 to 91 now, but he isn't that far behind. Looking at Esnov's point of view, he doesn't know about that third base. He does know about these couple of extreme pylons and this single pro, but right now what he needs to do is just get himself back into the game, and definitely Cloaked Banshees will do it. Mugen is just sitting fairly safe. He's just got a couple of immortals there in that stalker mix. They will be able to tank plenty of damage from these stores, but that marine backup is just way too high. Marines just tear those immortals to shreds, especially since well that hardened shields really just falls underneath that category of that gauze rifles of the Marines. Looks like Esnov just spotted that early aggression, and he's going to go ahead and spread his units around, make sure there's no blink play up on his high ground. But what Esnov needs to do, as soon as his cloak finished, start harassing Mugen like Mugen was doing to him. Get himself back in this game, claw himself, do enough economic damage, just put him on equal footing and stabilize. And Cloaked Banshees are really his play and really what he wants to do at the moment. Looks like Mugen's base is mined out. The transfer was complete over to this third base, so there's really not going to be any loss in mining time, but it's still only going to be 2 mining bases. And Mugen definitely has himself a great advantage. He's containing his opponent very, very easily, but no tier 3 techs, and esnov is already starting with that attack. That cloak just finished up, while at the same time Mugen's gonna go ahead and prepare to blink up yet again, but those cloak banshees already have 3 kills for one, 0 to another, and no observer on the field just yet, because Mugen is gonna go ahead and go for it. He's gonna blink up to the high ground, but the Thors are just gonna cause too much damage. They are just ripping them to shreds. Thors are the equivalent of immortals are going up against stalkers, and now these banshees are just having the field day in this mineral line. Look at that, 7 kills per, 8 kills per, 9 kills, 10 kills. Finally that observer is there on the field, and esnov just did the damage really necessary. Looking at the workers kill count, 19 killed by esnov, only 9 by Mugen. Looking at the income tab, the harvester count is about even now, so 53 to 50, but the OP mules by the Terran really tips the scales in esnov's favor. Yes, it's true, Mugen does have this third base up and running, but to what ends? His main base is mined out. He's not even mining out of his natural expansion. This third base is completely saturated. You could actually send and move some back over here to this natural and really just even them out. Looking at the income tab, we see definitely it is in the favor of esnov. Almost 400 minerals per cycle. It looks like the gas is about the same, but as long as esnov can keep that harassment up with those banshees, he will be able to roll on these opponents. On his opponents, finally Archons are in the mix with these Dark Templar. No tier 3 units just yet. No Colossi for Mugen, and I think Mugen, if he had some Colossi in the mix, he could really do some damage. I mean, right now the meat of esnov's army are these Thors. He does have some Marines just scattered around, and a couple of Colossi will just make mincemeat out of those Marines very, very quickly. And where is that pack of banshees that esnov had at his disposal? Not sure exactly where they are. Just said he has 9 banshees, not sure exactly where they are, but really at that point it'll just, if Mugen had a couple of Colossi, it would take care of those Marines very, very easily, and at that point it would just be Thors and banshees going up against Stalker, Archon, Immortal mix, and that would be very good, especially if Mugen decides to put those Immortals at the front. And Mugen, he's putting down a couple of robotics facilities at the front of the base, and there are the cloaked banshees finally pushing in, making mincemeat out of anything and everything possible. Blink forward does manage to take down a couple, but esnov is keeping himself very, very much into this game. 173 supply, 170. Looks like finally Mugen decided to take his own 4th base. 2 robotics facilities going to be put down in front of esnov's natural expansion. The main base is going to be mined down in a couple of minutes, but really, looking at the units tab, we see 12 banshees. It looks like Mugen's going to go ahead and decide to go for it. He's going to go ahead and push forward. He's going to go ahead and attack, but really those Archons are taking plenty of space. They just melt immediately to the power of those Thors. Point defense drones are going to go ahead and eat up all of those Stalker shots. Immortals are forced to retreat since all of the Archons just evaporated. Looking at the supply count, 126 to 163, 159. And looks like those Thors are paying for themselves, ripping the shreds of those Immortals. The Marines are going to go ahead and focus down the Banshees. Mugen is slightly upset. esnov decides to GG because really, he deserved this win. Mugen did not capitalize one bit. That contained that early harassment. He should have been up. He should have had this base up minutes ago. He should have already been mined out here. He should have already taken this one, maybe had that one, that one, that one. He could have done so much to just overpower his opponent, but he was just too complacent, did not attack when he needed to, or did not expand when he needed to. At that point, if he would have had this up running, 10 minutes ago, if he would have had that 4th and 5th base up and running, he could have just thrown waves of enemies at his opponent and just won a war of attrition. 4 gates are funny, and yes, they are, especially when they're about 45 seconds late. And he throws in a little bit of Spanish there. He pretty much said something along the lines of your mother. But that was it for this replay. I hope you guys enjoyed. If not, leave comments down below on what I could do to make these more enjoyable for you. If there's a replay of your own playing that you want me to cast, feel free to upload them to one of the major replay sites. Drop.se is always popular. se2replays.com is also up there. Feel free to upload them there. Send me the link and I'll be more than happy to take care of them for you. Other than that, that was it for me, and I am out of here.